Welcome one and all for our special Kids Digital Service. I'm so happy you could join us in experiencing God and having fun together. And if this is your first time watching or joining us for one of our Kids Digital Services, let us know. We'd love to give you a digital fist bump, wave, and welcome you to the group. Let us know simply by leaving a comment in the chat saying VIP or letting a leader know that it's your first time. And whether you're joining us in the fun for the first time or the 100th time, get ready for a game show adventure, Family Matters. Yes, that's right. Throughout this whole series, we will be learning together what matters in living for God and living in our families. And now that we've gotten to know each other a little bit more, let's get to know our host a bit more and get the game show started. It's time for Family Matters. Take it away, Carly. Welcome one and all to Family Matters. I am your host, Carly Harbison, and I hope you're ready to experience God while having some fun together. Here at Family Matters, we know that families aren't perfect and we don't get to choose our families, but we do get to choose how we treat each other in our families. And throughout today's game show adventure, you'll be finding out what matters with games, songs, Bible stories, and more. So let's kick off the fun by standing up to your feet and joining me in singing how we can be a blessing to others.
How does it feel when someone gives you a helping hand? How does it feel when someone takes the time to get to know you? How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel when someone gives you a second chance? How does it feel when someone loves you just the way you are? How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel? It feels good. So do to others as you would have them do to you. So do to others as you would have them do to you. It's a golden rule. How does it feel when someone gives you a helping hand? How does it feel when someone takes the time to get to know you? How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel when someone gives you a second chance? How does it feel when someone loves you just the way you are? How does it feel? It feels good. How does it feel? It feels good. So do to others as you would have them do to you. So do to others as you would have them do to you. So do to others as you would have them do to you. So do to others as you would have them do to you. It's the golden rule. It's the golden rule.
Wow, amazing participation. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Speaking of participation, I'm going to need all of your participation if you want a chance to win today. That's right. This is a game show after all, and you have a chance to win. So, split up your group you're watching with into 2 teams now as we get ready to play our first Family Matters game, Sibling Feud.
Welcome one and all. So glad you could join us for Family Matters today. It is sure to be a blast, and we're going to kick it off right with our very first game called Sibling Feud. Here's how to play. In this game, you're going to want to split your group or your family into two teams. That's right, into two teams. They don't have to be even, so go ahead and split up into those two teams. Go ahead, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Got your two teams? All right, well, in this game, each team is going to compete to be the first to answer a question about siblings in the Bible. All right, and this week we're going a little further down in the Bible, maybe to a book of Exodus. So we're getting a little later in the sibling facts here, so be ready. And now, for each question that your team gets right, that is a point. And to get the point, your team has to be the first to shout out the correct answer. That's right, you have got to shout out the answer, and it's got to be correct in order to get a point. And when you get a point, be sure to remember those points because they will come in handy later. All right, you guys ready for the first question about siblings in the Bible? Here it is. Moses had a brother that helped him speak to Pharaoh and lead Israel out of Egypt. Who was Moses' brother? Shout it out if you know. Time's almost up. All right, did someone know it? Did you shout it out? Well, let's find out. If you shout it out, Aaron, give your team a point. That is correct. Aaron is the name you need to shout to get a point. Okay, second and last question. Sibling feud. I think we're back with Moses and Aaron. Let's find out another fun fact about them. While Moses was receiving the 10 Commandments, Aaron led the people in making a golden what? What did Moses' brother make them do? Oh, time's up. What did Aaron lead the people in making? A golden calf or a cow? Yes, a golden calf or cow idol. One of those answers will earn your team a point. So if you shouted that out first, give your team a point. And thank you guys for playing Sibling Feud. That was just a warm-up. There's going to be more feuding in a little bit. So we'll see you back here for our second Family Matters games in just a bit.
Awesome! That was tough, but I could see some light bulbs going off in your heads for you, studio audience. But don't worry, if the light bulb hasn't gone off yet, let me help. Today's whole game show is about one big idea. Blessing others matters. Come on, studio audience, let me hear you say it. Oh, that's good. I could hear you guys. Your involvement is what makes Family Matters so much fun and so helpful as we learn what matters as part of a family and God's family. Keep remembering that blessing others matters. What's that? You guys don't believe me? Well, just listen to what the Bible says in Romans 12:14. It says, "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse." Now that is a great verse to remember. Keep that in your noggins because that's our memory verse for this week. Blessing others not only matters in life, but matters in the next game we're going to play. That's right, get into your two teams and gear up for the second round of our Family Matters games, Family Feud. Let's play.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It is time for Game 2 of Family Matters. This game is called Family Feud, and here's how we're going to play. All right, you're going to want to get back into your two teams that you had earlier. And while you get up and get into your two teams, go ahead and get something to write your team answers down on. Okay, it could be a phone, it could be a piece of paper and a pen. Somewhere you want to record your answers. All right, so go ahead, take a few seconds, go get something to write your answers down on, record them on. A few more, about 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, very good. Now, in our two teams, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have 30 seconds to write down or record the multiple answers from one question in the Bible or from this week's topic. For each answer that your team gets right, that is a point. And you don't want to shout these answers out. You want to write them down because you don't want to give the other team some answers. All right? And whatever or however many points you get, be sure to remember because they're going to come in handy for our final game today. All right, you guys ready? There's going to be one question. You got to write down multiple answers to that one question. Here we go. In 30 seconds. Blessing can mean good wishes. What are 4 other words for blessing? It's a tough one. What are 4 other words for blessing? We asked the studio audience, and what did they reply? What are 4 other words for a blessing? About 10 seconds left. Write down any 4 that can be in any order. Doesn't matter. What are 4 words for blessing? Oh, well, time's almost done. 0. Time is up. Put down whatever you're recording or writing your answers on. It's time to check. Let's see what 4 words could also be used for blessing. Here we go. 1. Ooh, a compliment. Very good. Another word for blessing. Praise. That works. That makes sense. Another one could be nice or a kind. Yeah, a nice word or a kind word. That works. So if you wrote down anything like that, a compliment, a praise, nice or kind, give your team a point. And here's the 4th and final one. Honor. Very good. So how many did your team get? It can be in any order, but if your team wrote down any one of those 4 words, give your team a point. And I hope that made the competition even thicker. It's getting tough now. All right, well, thank you guys so much for playing our second game of Family Matters. The fun isn't over yet. We are going to wrap this up with our third game, so stay tuned until then, and we'll see you there.
Welcome back. Oh boy, the competition is really heating up in here. We better take a quick break to let you cool down some more. So sit back down, take a load off, and turn up those listening ears as we bring it back to Pastor Ryan for today's Bible story and devotion. Take it away, Pastor Ryan.
Well, hello, contestants and studio audience. What an amazing game show adventure we have had so far, and a savvy group of competitors you all are. Well, keep at it and stay sharp, because we are getting ready to see firsthand just how blessing who matters? What is that? Yes, blessing others matters. And we're going to see that in the life of Jacob. And as we follow the life of Jacob a bit more, we'll see how blessing others is going to help him get out of a sticky situation with his very own father-in-law. So let's watch and learn today.
So Jacob was married to both Rachel and Leah. He had been cheated into working for Laban for 7 more years just so he could have Rachel for his wife. And God blessed him in everything he did. And since he worked for Laban, Laban was being blessed too. After the 7 years ended, Jacob came to Laban and said, "You still doing all right, Wonder Boy?" "We're doing good." "Cool. You're doing pretty good." So Jacob went to Laban and said, "I've worked for you for 7 years, for a really long time." Not 7 years. See, now you're messing up. "I've worked for you for a really long time. Let me take your family, my family and possessions, and go home." So Laban said, "Don't go, because you have been blessed. I have been too. Is there anything I can give you to stay?" "Nope, I'm out of here." Just kidding. "All I ask is that I can take all that I've earned. You know, all the sheep and goats and other animals I've raised." God had blessed all that Jacob had. And this made Laban very jealous. Jacob had to run away with his family in the night. Like I said, this made Laban really mad. So he chased him around. "Ooh, get back here." "But I'm Wonder Boy. I'm Jacob." Laban chased after him for a while, but he was on his way. God told Laban not to speak badly of Jacob or hurt him. When Laban caught up with Jacob, Jacob said, "Why are you chasing after me? I've worked for you even when you cheated me and changed what I should earn 10 times. God has blessed me despite you cheating me. That is why he told you not to harm me last night." "Come now," Laban said. "Let's make a covenant and get along." Laban and Jacob made a promise. To one another, that day, to be at peace and get along. Laban said goodbye to his daughters and let Jacob, "Goodbye, my daughters," and let Jacob and his whole family go. So they went along, and they had a very merry life.
Well, what another crazy family story. I'd say Jacob got himself into another sticky situation. But through blessing others, it really helps him smooth things over with his in-laws. And with all the matters Jacob's going through, it actually can help you and I today. That's right. See, you may not find yourself in an argument with your father-in-law right now. All right, but you may still be in a sticky situation where blessing others can really help you smooth things over. So here's a few ways and a few things that our Bible story teaches us about how you can bless others. And the first way that we see from today's Bible story how we can bless others is actually by learning from our past. Jacob showed us this. He was getting ready and in today's Bible story made a deal with his father-in-law Laban again. Now, do you remember what happened last time Jacob made a deal with Laban? I hear it out there. Yes, I can't put one by you. You're exactly right. You've got it. Laban tricked Jacob last time. And now in today's Bible story, Jacob is wanting to stop taking care of Laban's flocks, start his own shepherding business, so he makes a deal with Laban. Jacob says that he'll take the less valuable sheep and goats that Laban has to start his own flocks. Well, Laban agrees to this, and then guess what Laban does? You guessed it. He tricks Jacob again. He took away all of those less valuable, the spotted, the brown, and the speckled sheep and goats. But from this, we can still learn something. And that is, we need to learn from our past and the experiences that we go through. Because when we do, we can be a blessing to others. It's confusing. Let me explain it this way. So say I come from a past of divorced parents. Well, I can stop that trend and choose to learn something from that experience so that in my future, I can be a blessing to my kids by not letting them go through a divorce like I did. Or another example is, say I'm called a name and I remember how that made me feel. Well, I can choose to learn from that experience so that next time, rather than hurt someone else with my words, I can choose to say something kind and bless them instead because I remembered how hurtful words made me feel when I was called that. See, those are all experiences that we can call testimonies. And a life with Jesus can help us learn from our past, and it creates a testimony, a story that can help others. Just hear what Revelation 12:11 says about the power of our story and learning from our past and letting it be a blessing to others. Revelation 12:11 says this: they triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. See, your testimony, your experiences, your past holds power, and you can make a difference by letting God help you learn from those things that you've been through. So that's why it's important to share what you've learned and how God helped you with it, so that when you do share it, it is a blessing to others. So are you ready to let God help you learn from your past so that you can bless others? Then the second way we see from today's Bible story how we can bless others is by giving freely. Jesus actually taught us this way to be a blessing to others in Matthew 10:8. He says, freely you have received, now freely you will give. See, Laban, he could have been a blessing to his son-in-law Jacob, but instead of giving freely to Jacob, Laban took all those animals and hid them from Jacob. If Laban had just given freely, I think many issues could have been avoided. And how often is it that we are blessed with something, we are given something, but instead of giving freely, we try to hide it and hoard it for ourselves? Well, each and every one of us, we have been blessed with so much. And when we give freely out of that blessing, we also bless others. So let us focus on giving without any strings attached, without expecting anything in return. Let's give with happy hearts and give freely without expecting anything back. See, we have been blessed and given so much by God. So don't hide all your blessings for yourself. Instead, ask yourself if you're willing to give freely in order to bless others. And a final way that we saw from today's Bible story how we can bless others is by realizing God's role in our life. In today's Bible story, Laban said to Jacob that he had learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because of you. And Jacob also had the same realization. He said to Laban, the Lord has blessed you wherever I have been. So I was wondering if both Laban and Jacob had realized how God had blessed each of them. Then why did they feel like they needed to deceive, cheat, and steal from each other? I think it was because they didn't fully realize that God's role in their life as a provider. I think if they had, they would have trusted God to provide instead of stealing from each other. The Bible actually reminds us of God's role in your life too as a provider by teaching us this in Philippians 4:19, saying, "My God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory." See, God will take care of us. And when we recognize the role that God plays in our life as our provider, we too will be in the right position to bless others. So as we take a time to reflect on what we've learned, let's take a moment to pray. Let's let God help you remember how he has blessed us so that we can do the same and that we can bless others with our words and with our actions. So right there where you're at, close your eyes and let's go to God in prayer. Lord, I thank you. I thank you for all the blessings you've given us. Show us right now. Show us the blessings you have given us, the blessing of a family, of a group of people we can watch us with, of friends. God, show us a blessing of providing for us and how we have air to breathe, lungs and breath in our lungs, how we have been given food and nourishment and treasures and talents, how we've been given time. We have so much to be thankful for and so much that we can use to bless others. So show us right now, Holy Spirit, all that we're blessed with. Let us hear the amazing words from God that he speaks over us, those words of kindness, those words of love, those words of care. And help us to repeat those words to our friends. Help us repeat those godly words to our family, even to ourselves. Lord, help us to be a blessing to others by giving freely. Help us be a blessing to others by realizing that you are our provider. And God, help us be a blessing to others by using our words and our actions. We pray this in your name. Amen. Amen. Well, let it be and let it be. What a great reminder for us today that we can be a blessing to others by learning from our past, sharing what we've learned with others. Then we can bless others by giving freely and not trying to hold on to things so tightly. We can bless others by remembering that God continues to bless us and provide for us so we can afford to give away some niceness. Well, I hope you were paying close attention because you're going to need it for our final Family Matters games. So let's go back to you, Carly.
Thank you, Pastor Ryan, and welcome back, contestants and studio audience. You heard it right. It's time for our final Family Matters game. So get back into your teams and start tallying up points because only the winner will play this final game of lightning round. Here's how you play.
Well, welcome back, one and all. It is the final game of Family Matters. That's right. This game is called Lightning Feud, and here's how we're going to play. At this game, you need to add up the points that each team has earned. All right, so add up your points, and the team with the most points will play this game. If there's a tie of points, you can battle it out with the game of rock, paper, or scissors. All right, so go ahead, take a few seconds now, add up your points. If there's a tie, rock, paper, or scissors it. All right. You know who won? All right, well, winning team. Here we go. This is for you. Winning team. Choose one contestant from your team to compete and make sure that this contestant has something to write down or record their answers on. All right? Now, this contestant that you choose will have 60 seconds to answer the questions from today's Bible story. So hopefully you pick somebody that was paying attention. All right? These questions are straight from today's Bible story, and they have to write down the answers to each question. Now here's the prize. If the contestant gets all the answers correct, then that team will get to choose the game or activity to play as a group or family today. That's right. If they get all of them right, they get to choose the game or activity to do as a group. All right, you guys ready? Contestant, are you ready? All right, you're going to write down or record your answers for each one of these 5 questions. 5 questions, 60 seconds. Let's begin. What was the name of Jacob's father-in-law and uncle? Write it down. What was the answer? Question 2. What did Jacob do for his father-in-law? What did he do? What type of work did he do for his father-in-law? Question 3. Jacob made a deal with his father-in-law to take what kind of sheep and goats? Question 4. Who told Laban not to harm or attack Jacob? Who told Laban not to harm or attack Jacob? Final question. What did Laban and Jacob make as a reminder not to harm each other? Alright, 10 seconds remain. You can go back and finalize any answer. Or try again if you didn't know one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, time is up. I hope you got a chance to write down an answer for each of these, but we're going to double check them. All right, so pass your answers to another team member or the other team, somebody there with you. Let's check those answers. If you get all of them right, then you and your team get to decide the game and activity that you're doing today. All right, here we go. Answer to question number 1. What was the name of Jacob's father-in-law and uncle? Laban. That's right. It's got to be Laban. If it's spelled incorrectly, that's all right. But something along the lines of Laban. Okay, here we go. Answer number 2. What did Jacob do for his father-in-law? Yeah, Jacob's job was he watched or cared for Laban's flocks. Exactly right. So something along those lines. Watched or cared for his flocks, was a shepherd. That would do. All right, answer number 3. Jacob made a deal with his father-in-law to take what kind of sheep and goats? The spotted, speckled, or brown sheep and goats. That's right. So one of those, if they wrote down one or all of that, spotted, speckled, or brown, give them credit. Answer number 4. Who told Laban not to harm or attack Jacob? Yes, God is the answer. God showed up and talked to Laban. Okay, so God, that's the answer they need. Lord, servant of the Lord, messenger of the Lord, something along those lines. God or the Lord. All right, answer to number 5. What did Laban and Jacob make as a reminder not to harm each other? Yes, a heap or a pillar or pile of rocks. All right, they made a spot where they put some rocks and they said, we will not harm each other. So what, did you get all of them? Check them. All 5 right? Well, if you did, congratulations. You get to decide the game and activity you do as a group today. Thank you to the other team. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to all of you joining us today. It's been a blast playing our Family Matters games, and I can't wait till next time. All right, well, so we'll see you there.
Congrats to the winning team. Enjoy picking a game or activity you get to do with your family or group, and way to go. Well, stay on your teams because Family Matters ain't over yet. No siree. It's time to connect. That's right. Stay on your teams and let's talk about what we've learned in our game show adventure today. There will be some questions on the screen. Talk about these questions in the group you're with, or if you're by yourself, feel free to put your answers in the chat or comments of this video. It looks like you all are ready to talk. All right, come on back. Nicely done. You're a chatty group, I can tell. That is awesome. But I can't end without giving something to the parents, caregivers, or leaders watching here with us. That's right. I'm talking to your parents and caregivers. Here's an idea of something to do with your group or family this week to keep learning. Let's try this out.
Make a concerted effort on saying kind things to each other in your family this week. Then at dinner time, talk through how a blessing and not a cursing affects you and others. Relate it to how the story of Jacob and Laban in Genesis 30 and 31. It could have been much different if they had simply blessed and honored each other instead of trying to trick or get back at each other.
And that's a wrap, contestants and studio audience. Air high fives all around. What a great time of experiencing God together and having fun. I can't wait to see you all again for more Family Matters fun. To stay connected, feel free to follow us on social media And lastly, to connect with your kids' leaders, be sure to follow them to your group time now. And for those watching online, click on the link in the chat or description for group time with your very own kids' leaders in a video call. Well, that's all for Carly. Keep blessing others out there and see you next time.